Hello, everyone. I am Judy Cooper. I am the Library Director at the Lake Park Public Library, and I would like to welcome you to our first part one of Basic Digital Toolbox. This is a course that was designed for Ready, Set, Bank for the Community Connects grant that was done by the American Library Association in conjunction with Capital One. As part of the grant, we are doing these webinars. We are also now have hotspots to lend out if you come to the library. And we also ended up buying a whole bunch of books. For this particular session, we're going to do course 1 and 2 out of 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to the benefits and the history of online banking. And we're going to show you what's on Ready, Set, Bank, the website, that can help you. And to start this, let me share my screen. And there we go. I don't need to be on here. Okay, so we're going to start. It's part 1 of the basic digital basics toolkit. When I said about Ready, Set, Bank, this is the website I am talking about. It's www.readysetbank.org. And it is a website to help teach you how to do many types of banking, or to do various things in online banking. Ready, Set, Bank, online banking made easy, gives people everywhere the tools and confidence to start banking online. There are videos guide learners through every step of the process with overviews and step-by-step tutorials to help them manage their finances electronically. And the learning content is organized into 5 short video courses, so you can go to each one at your own pace. Some of these videos are going to be in tonight's lessons, but not all of them. There'll be ones from different sections. First off there's the benefits of online banking with the website right below. And this course does understanding online banking today, from the ways banks have evolved to the digital technologies that now make everyday finances more convenient. Then the next one is online banking safety and security with the website below that. And you can learn the ins and outs of security and privacy when it comes to banking online. This track includes the strategies banks use to protect their money, data, and reputations as trusted providers. Then there's getting started with online banking. And underneath that is, again, the website. Begin using online banking yourself. This track includes tutorial lessons and topic overviews that will help you get started banking online and on your mobile device. Stay on top of your money, website. Explore best practices, which means what you really should be doing for monitoring and accessing your bank account online. Includes how to set up automatic alerts and tips on creating the right username and password. And then managing your account online, and the website's below. And to get the most out of the popular options for online money management, includes how-to videos for depositing checks, transferring funds online, setting up online bill pay, and using the bank's message center. You can practice these skills at the website listed below. And so in addition to the educational videos, the demo site is provided to help you build familiarity with online banking features. You don't need an account. It does not access any of your personal information. It's all made up. But it does do a really good job of showing you how you do things step by step so that you do understand how to do this. Okay, so getting started with online banking. And we have some discussion questions to start off with. What do you see as the biggest change for you in banking over the years? I remember when I was a kid that we would have passbooks, and they would take your passbook and they would write in it with a pen every time you put money in or every time you took money out. Then we went to, you had everything printed out using typewriter or using a printer. Then we went to, everybody had a debit card. And then finally you could start checking your information at the website. And now you can do it through an app. So it's been progression from, you know, it being an analog system where everything was manual to now it's all digital. Do you remember how you felt in the past when new advances in banking were initially introduced, such as ATMs or debit cards? I remember that when everybody started using debit cards a lot, I would ask places if I was like phoning in orders, back when you phoned in orders for delivery from the pizza places. I'd ask if they took plastic, or I'd ask if they took debit cards because I'd never be sure. Now you don't have to worry about that. Everybody takes debit cards, and most of the time you don't even have to call in. You can do it online. You can do it in the brick and mortar store. How often do you use these products? There are times when I think I use them on a daily basis. There are times when, you know, it depends on how often I go shopping. But I also use, you know, automatic bill pays and stuff like that. So yeah, it's used quite often, at least with me. Okay, and now we have a video on how banking has evolved. And sorry, I thought I could mute that.
Up until just a few decades ago, virtually all personal banking took place at local branches. The tools of choice were paper and pen, and all transactions were managed using deposit slips, checkbooks, and paper receipts. In the 1980s, new technologies made banking easier. ATMs became widely used, and banking quickly turned into a 24-hour operation. Suddenly, customers had access to their money at any time. Eventually, people demanded even more. It didn't take long for debit cards to hit the scene. Finally, customers could withdraw funds from their accounts at the moment they made a purchase, and the need for paper checks began to decrease. Eventually, banks launched websites where the customers could access their bank accounts. These websites quickly expanded to include mobile sites and smartphone apps too. These new resources now give you instant access to the same services that were once limited to a branch location. Services like making deposits, transferring money, and tracking your transaction history. Banking resources are still evolving in the digital age, and one thing will continue to be true. All of these tools give you more control, making it faster, simpler, and more convenient for you to manage your money.
Okay. And so banking is constantly evolving, and online banking is simply the next step in this process. So let's watch a video on the benefits of online banking.
Online banking goes by many names, like digital banking, mobile banking, e-banking, and internet banking. Throughout this course, We use online banking to describe any banking that's done from a website or an app using your computer, smartphone, or tablet. You can use online banking with any device that connects to the internet, whether you prefer a desktop computer, a laptop, a tablet device like an iPad, or your smartphone. It's similar to using ATMs and banking over the phone. You can make transactions and check your balance without ever setting foot in a physical bank. Plus, it's automatically offered when you already have an account. Getting started is simple. Say you prefer using a laptop or a desktop computer to go online. You can type in your bank's website address in the bar at the top of your browser. Then you'll log in securely with a username and password. The same steps work on your smartphone or tablet too. Just download the app to start managing your finances. Online banking opens up doors for you. You can use your bank's website or mobile app to make actual transactions like transferring funds, paying your bills, or even wiring money. While you're there, you can manage your account too. Everything from viewing your recent transactions to downloading your bank statement to print. While ATMs require you to go somewhere and telephone banking may require your bank to be open, online banking removes these constraints. You can log into your account 24 hours a day. All you need is access to the internet.
All right. So, discussion and questions about the video that we just saw. What do you currently do online? Do you do Facebook? Do you email? Do you shop online? Do you look up recipes? Pinterest, Ravelry. I mean, there's a lot of things to do online. TikTok, Twitter. And if you can do these, generally you can also figure out how to get to your bank online. Have these made your life easier in any way? I know that shopping and emailing have both made things a lot easier for a lot of people because they don't have to leave their house to shop. Email, you don't have to deal with physical mail. Facebook, I keep up with my nieces and nephews that way. Looking up recipes in a lot of cases, excuse me, you may not have them in your cookbooks at home. So they do make your life easier. Does anyone currently use online banking? Okay. How long have you used online banking? What's your favorite thing about it? I've used online banking probably at least 15 years now. And the good thing that I think about it is that I have the ability to check my balance at any time, and I don't have to go to the bank to do things. I can do things from home or wherever I'm at the time. If not based on what you've seen, what do you think is the biggest benefit of banking online could be? Are there times when you can't get to the bank or need to rely on others for transportation? And there's a lot of times banks work, or they're pretty strict hours, like 9 to 5, and maybe 9 to 12 on Saturdays. So if you're working, you can't get to the bank. If you're relying on somebody else for transportation, same deal. Okay. Now that we know some of the benefits of online banking, let's watch a video on to see how banking can fit into your lifestyle.
I used to be a teacher, and now I get a state pension plan. I also published a book just after I retired, and I've earned a little bit from that too. but I don't always know exactly when payments are deposited in my account. It's usually around the 5th of the month, give or take a day. Going to my local bank branch can be tough on me. Getting to a branch can be difficult if there's bad weather or if I'm away traveling. Usually it's not a huge problem, but sometimes in the weeks between receiving my bank statements in the middle of the month, I don't have a good way to know if my checkbook is actually in line with my balance. You know, after all my bills and expenses are paid for, it can be hard to track ATM deposits, debit card purchases, and checks. Before I got started with banking online, I had to wait for my statement to be mailed to me. Sometimes I'd have an overdraft fee when I cut things too close at the end of the month. I actually started to use online banking when my bank teller recommended it. He noticed I was using my smartphone, and he told me I could do a lot of this stuff with their mobile app. Knowing exactly how much I have in my checking and savings account, it's reassuring. It takes away the feeling that I'm guessing. You know, that I don't have enough to cover my cable bill at the end of the month. I don't do much with it besides checking my balance, but that alone saves me a whole lot of stress. This way, I can see what my balance is and really know exactly when the money's available.
All right. So let's talk about the video. Do you know exactly when money will be transferred in and out of your account? In most cases, you have a general day, but what happens if that day falls on a weekend or on a holiday? Do they transfer after? Do they transfer before? That could be important to know if you're running it close. Have you ever felt like you were guessing? When you kind of think that you got all the entries written down, but maybe you didn't. Do you currently rely on others to help you manage your banking? Do you have somebody else keep track of things for you? Do you think online banking could help you monitor your transactions more easily? I think in a lot of cases it can, simply because online banking is pretty much immediately put onto your your account, so you can keep track of what has been done. It won't be, they may not take the money out, but you can at least see, you know, what you've done. Okay, so next, let's learn how to send money to family and friends.
I retired as a nurse a few years ago. Since then, I found that this is my time to do what I really love, and that's beading. I started selling my beadwork at the farmer's market in town, and eventually it turned into a business. Nowadays, I sell my work on websites for crafts. I'm using the extra money I've earned to help out my daughter and grandson and pay some of my grandson's college tuition. In the past, I used to write checks to my daughter and she would put them in my grandson's account, but now it's much faster. My bank's website makes it easy for me to help my grandson with his education. To me, it's one of the best parts of online banking. Sending a check by mail can take several days, and it takes a while for my grandson to receive the funds. I've used online banking to check my balance or make deposits, but until the past few months, I never thought about using it to transfer money. My daughter knew how to make a transfer online, so she walked me through it. I ended up transferring funds straight to my grandson's account. Now, I practically never write checks to my grandson, and my daughter isn't stuck in the middle anymore. When I transfer money to him, it shows a withdrawal in my account, and I know how much money I have left. For me, online banking means peace of mind. I know my grandson gets the funds exactly when he needs them. To be honest, my grandson was pretty surprised the first time I did it. You know, a little bit proud too.
Okay. So here's some tips. Sending money to family and friends electronically is also known as person-to-person payments. Zelle is a tool offered by many banks and credit unions. It is an easy way to send money directly between almost any US bank account, typically within minutes. With just an email address or a mobile phone number, you can quickly, safely, and easily send and receive money with more people, regardless of where they bank. You can also do it with Zelle is a tool that has been offered by banks. There's also a couple of other ones that you can use, such as PayPal and Venmo. Okay, so discussion questions. Do any of you write checks to your grandchildren or prefer to write checks in general? This entire thing is kind of geared towards older people, which is the reason why they're talking about grandchildren. But like today I had to write a check because the people that I was, that I had to pay don't accept plastics. But I write checks maybe once every month or two. So I'm still working on my first pack of checks that I got when I bought them 3 years ago. Most of the stuff that I do is I either use a site like PayPal, or I use Zelle, Venmo, or I direct deposit from my account, my bank account. I pay using a debit card. So I just in general don't write checks anymore, and I rarely see people write checks. Are you ever concerned about missing a check or having it lost in the mail? And this can be kind of concerning. We do know that people steal checks from mailboxes. And it can get scary if you're missing a check. But if you do it online, then you don't have to worry about missing a check or having it lost in the mail. It's there in your, it's either, the money is either in your bank account or it's gone to somebody else's bank account. So to summarize, online banking is the next step in banking's evolution. As we learned today, there are many benefits to online banking, including accessibility. You never have to leave the comfort of your home. Knowing exactly how much money you have in your accounts at any moment. Ease of transferring money to and from accounts. And monitoring your accounts for fraudulent activity. So, speaking of fraudulent activity, our next section is on security, taking security seriously, and we are going to go over what actions banks take to protect customers, their money and data, and for you to understand the security practices of banks and get answers to questions regarding security when banking online. So let's start off with some questions. Are any of you concerned with the safety of online banking? I know people that are, and in many cases, I think it's safer banking online than it is to try and do it through either the mail, or you have to make sure that you get to the bank, or sending money through the mail, or writing checks out. I think it's a lot safer in the long run. What would you most be concerned with? And we'll go through and see what kind of things they protect you from, the banks. And are you familiar with the term fraud? And as a review, fraud includes counterfeit checks and ATM cards, transactions where the card isn't present, or when a card is lost or stolen. So let's watch a video to learn how banks take your security seriously. All right.
Banks are committed to keeping your information and money safe. They're prepared for different risks. And they ask any features to look for information. That's because banks have an open standard for the market, standing in line on many different standards. For example, the data
All right, next up, let's talk about this. Based on what we heard, let's review the different ways banks, the government, and you can work together to keep your personal information and money safe. How do banks work to keep your account safe? Banks do several things, including strengthening their data systems to guard against identity theft, monitoring your purchasing patterns and look for out of character purchases, a large or unusual activity or something that's out of the country. They automatically log you out of your account if it's inactive. And they regularly train their staff on security practices and how to properly handle confidential information. How does the government prevent theft? Well, the government has strict laws to keep your data private. And how can you do your part? You should regularly review your accounts and report any suspicious behavior to your bank as soon as possible. All right, now that we understand how banks secure your data, let's watch a video that discusses how they keep your data locked. So let's discuss this. As a review, does everyone see the HTTPS when they go to a browser? This will be on the address line for your URL. A best practice is always to ensure that the website has a closed locked icon and has an HTTPS at the very front. So it'd be HTTPS on HTTPS : and then you start with your address of the URL. Okay, and has anyone ever used an ATM to get cash? I'm sure that you have. So you know you need both your ATM card and a PIN, a personal identification number. This is called multi-factor identification or authentication. As a review, multi-factor authentication is a security system requiring more than one factor to log in. Now we're going to talk about how banks confirm your identity.
To help make sure that you and all of you have access to your account, banks not only want to see that's clear,
So let's talk about that video. As a review, what are the three types of multi-factor identification? It's something you know, a password or a security question. Something you have, like your cell phone, and something that you are, like your fingerprint. Why do banks use multi-factor authentication? They use it to ensure that it's actually you who is accessing your account, as opposed to a hacker who might only have one piece of information. Now that we understand how banks protect your data, let's watch a video to learn how banks communicate with you so that you can avoid fraud. Okay, and on to, here's an activity that we're going to do, and it's about phishing. Are you familiar with the term phishing? Phishing is a term used to describe any phone call, email, or mail communication that attempts to trick you into providing private and sensitive information by pretending to be a legitimate business or financial institution. This private or sensitive information can include your usernames, passwords, and account numbers. In an email, you are typically asked to click on a link to provide information or to download or complete an attached document. And then we're going to read the example on the next slide. All right. So here you've got an online banking alert. And it says that your online banking is blocked. Because of an unusual number of invalid login attempts on your account, we had to believe that there might be some security problems with your account. So we've decided to put an extra verification process to ensure your identity and your account security. Please click to sign in on online banking to continue to the verification process and ensure your account security. It is all about your security. Thank you. And the visitor and visit the customer service section. Okay, so does this email look like it came from your bank? Is there anything on the email that looks suspicious? Let's go to the next and it'll show you what all suspicious. All right, here's some clues to help you determine if the email is legitimate. One, it creates a sense of urgency. And you notice that the red text, and they're using red, your online banking is blocked. It's supposed to create an anxiety with you. The red text is meant to pressure you into acting urgently and putting you in a state of mind to react and just click on that link. And two, signs of obvious typos and errors. There is a missing the because of the unusual number of invalid login attempts would be what most people would do. There is spelled T-H-E-I-R. It should be T-H-E-R-E. And then you'll look down in here and it's sing into your online banking. There's also random spaces between things. It requests personal information. Now, this example is a little tricky because it doesn't say directly that they need your login information. Instead, that clue resides in the wording of the linked text. Sing into online banking. If you were to click on this link, it would take you to a website that would look like your bank, like your bank's sign-in page, but instead it would be collecting the data that you put into the database and it wouldn't be signing you in. Also notice that that they usually have a generic salutation and signature. So it opens with "Dear Sir." It closes with "Best regards, your bank." Thank you, customer support service, or thank you and visit customer service section. Banks generally do not use generic salutations unless it is an ad. They will address you directly. Also look at the weird links. The email may provide you with a link indicated by the blue color. You can see the blue color right there, and underlined text. Don't click on that link. Instead, if you hover your mouse over that, what it's going to do is, and you look towards the bottom of your email down here, you will see what the real internet address is, the URL. In this example, you see it's not going to bankofamerica.com. Looks like it might right there, but that's not where it's going. It's going to goodbox-pc.com/www.bankofamerica.com. That isn't part of the bank. If you see down here, that's what happens when you hover over, you get an address. So, habits to follow for all email that you are unsure of. Never, ever click on a link or an attachment from an email claiming to be from your bank. or from your credit card company or from, and don't click on a link unless you know who the email's from. Always open your internet browser and type in your bank's internet address, the URL, rather than clicking on a link in the email. Now, you can find your bank URL on the back of your debit ATM card or credit card. You can also Google it, or whichever search engine you like to use. Call the library. We will help you find it. As a last resort, we will look it up for you and give it to you. And then again, you want to look up contact us, as they said in the video. All right. And then you report any suspicious email to your bank. They need to know. Now, this phishing activity PDF handout is available if you go to this website or this address. It's on a Google Drive. All right. Now that we understand what phishing is, let's watch one last video to see how to spot a scam.
Hello? Grandma? Ted? It's been so long. You sound different. What is it? Yeah, it has been. Oh, hang up and contact someone you know, like someone at a bank, or in this case, a grandson's parent. If it's your bank, look at and remember, look at what that responds with the debit company.
Okay, let's talk about the video. What are the 3 signs to look for when identifying a scam? It's unexpected. You wouldn't think that somebody would call out of the blue to tell you that they've been robbed and that they need money. You wouldn't expect the IRS to call you and say that you owe funds or they're going to come and get you. So it's unexpected. It's scary. I'm thinking that the police are going to come and arrest you for something that you have no clue what's going on, that can be kind of scary. And it's urgent. You need to take care of it right now. No, you don't. The minute they start saying that's really urgent, that's usually when I start thinking, let's slow down a bit. Okay, so I have circled the components that indicate this is likely a phishing email, but we'll just touch on them. So to read through this, dear my bank valued member, notice that the salutation is very generic, or that greeting is very generic. Due to concerns for the safety and integrity of the online banking community, we have issued this warning message. It has come to our attention that your account information needs to be updated due to inactive members, frauds, and spoof reports. If you could please take 5 to 10 minutes out of your online experience and renew your records, you will not run into any future problems, and notice that's spelled wrong, problems, with the online service. However, failure to update your records will result in account suspension. That's kind of urgent. This notification expires on August 5th, 2004. They're giving you a date and a deadline. And probably when this was sent out, it probably was less than a week. Once you've updated your account records, your internet banking service will not be interrupted and will continue as normal. Please follow the link below and renew your account information. And there's that link. And then it says, sincerely, my bank customer department, which again is a generic end. So what should you do if you receive an email like this? Well, one, you do not click on anything. And two, you report it to the bank. What information should you not disclose in an email? You don't disclose your login name or your username. You don't disclose passwords. You don't account numbers. Your social security number. Never give out your social security number. And the answers to security questions. Don't give those out either. Why is it a good idea to learn your bank's communication practices? If you know what your bank's communication practices are, then you can spot a legitimate contact from them as opposed to somebody who's trying to scam you. And then again, we've got the spotting a scam activity. And once again, that's where the address is right there. It's actually supposed to be there. And you can find that PDF available at that address. So to summarize, banks take many steps to ensure their customers' money, data, and privacy are kept safe and secure. Banks do everything from constantly monitoring your purchasing patterns to encrypting your data to requiring multi-factor authentication to log in or access your account. And while there are some people who might try to take advantage of you through phishing or various scams, you now know things to be aware of, such as being suspicious of emails that include weird links, requests for personal information, a sense of urgency, obvious typos and errors, and generic salutations, generic greetings. So, as a reminder, never click on a link or an attachment from an email claiming to be from your bank. Actually, that should be never click on a link or attachment from an email that you are not familiar with. If you don't know who sent it to you, do not click on anything. Contact them through a different form, go to their website, whatever, but don't do it from the email unless they verify that you were supposed to get an email from them. Always open your internet browser and type in your bank's internet address, the URL, rather than clicking on a link in the email. And you can find your bank URL on the back of your debit or ATM card or your credit card. You can use whatever search engine you want, and you can find it that way. You can call the library, we'll help you out. Report any suspicious email to your bank. And remember, in the video, she said that if you go to the bank's website, there should be a link that says contact us. And then if you click on that, you will get to someplace where you can report that suspicious email. So in the next webinar, in Digital Basics Toolkit Part 2, we are going to go over how to sign up for online banking. And this will include downloading an app, proving your identity, creating a username and password, creating security questions, verifying your email address, and what to do when you forget your username or password. So, final thoughts. That address gives you a complete listing of all the videos available. There's a survey we would love to have you fill out. You can practice your skills at that address. And this is, all of this was taken directly from the course 1 and 2 of the Digital Basics Toolkit, and I have the address for that. And Ready, Set, Bank Online Made Easy, our online banking made easy. It's part of the Community Connect Digital Access at Home, and that is made possible by Capital One and the American Library Association. And there's their nice logos. All of this information, including this PowerPoint, will be available on the library's YouTube channel, which can be accessed at, if you just go to YouTube and search Lake Park Public Library, you should be able to find it, along with a couple of other financial programs that we've got. But the PowerPoint and all of these links will be located in the information under the video. So thank you very much for joining us. I greatly appreciated that you stopped in to watch our video, our webinar, and I hope that we will see you at our next webinar, which will be next Tuesday. So thank you very much, and I'll see you later.